for the first time on a Saturday night show, the Dave Becker Band.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for being here. Thanks, Randy and Helen, for having such a wonderful venue. Oh, my gosh, this place is great.
All right. Everybody's
So
on.
I heard somebody say, I'm not getting any signal. I was just thinking, well, I'm never getting any signal anymore. We just go on with what we've got, right? Okay. Well, we're the Dave Becker Band, and let me explain our name real quick. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes it's me and Howard. Uncle Howard is what we call him, and certain times of day we call him Happy Hour Howard. And sometimes it's me and Howard and Brother Bob on the big bass over here. And sometimes we have one of 2 or 3 different mandolin players join us. Tonight we decided that the trio was the best arrangement for what we're going to play. We've got a lot of new material. The mandolin player hadn't learned it yet. So we figured it was a good idea if we just let him join us after a few more rehearsals. So
The bass player hadn't learned it either.
oh wait, hold on. Let me tell Uncle Howard.
He's got a book. It's all right.
Well, here's what I know about Bob. See, Bob and I grew up in the same town and lived in the same town at the same time, playing gigs at different venues in Amarillo, Texas. But I knew of his bands, but I didn't know Bob until we camped out next to him at a music festival. And what was that, 5 or 6 years ago, something like that? And got started talking, figured out we're from the same place, and had a couple of beverages and played some songs and just discovered that we were doing the same thing at the same time of life together. So he's part of the club now.
And that we were actually Siamese twins separated at birth.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a big affinity for writing position songs, like, taking a political position or anything else. I'm more of a songwriter that likes to talk about my little walk through the thing we call life. What am I experiencing, because it's probably what other people are experiencing, and just try to be a little bit of a mirror back to everybody about this little journey that we're on. But I'm going to start off with an exception to that. This one's a little preachy, so if it applies to you, I'm not picking on you. It applies to me. It's called Who It Is. And if you don't know who it is, guess who it is. Well, somebody made you late for work this morning. Somebody made you stay out late and play. Yeah, somebody made you dance and sing, made you shake your shaky thing. Who it is got you doing things that way? Somebody out spending all your money, all of it. Somebody out wasting all your days. Somebody complicating even simple situations. Who it is now, honey, doing things that way? Who it is looks just like you in the mirror. Who it is, they answer by your name. Who it is wears your clothes, they got your socks pulled over their toes. 'Cause it's you is who it is, that's who it is. How about it, Uncle Howard? Oh, but you say no. It's somebody else making you unhappy. Somebody else keeping you down. Somebody giving you trouble. They're running you around, starting stories about you and spreading them all over town. Who it is now, now, baby, doing things like that. Who it is, everybody else knows it for a fact. If you don't know who it is, you better give yourself a quiz, 'cause it's you is who it is, that's who it is. Who it is looks just like you in the mirror. Yeah, who it is, they answer by your name. Who it is, wears your clothes, got your socks pulled over their toes, 'cause it's you is who it is, that's who it is. Yes, it is. Well, it's you, that's who it is, that's who it is. Thank you. So now we all know who it is and where I stand on that. So here's a little song we just finished. This is our newest song. That was one of our older ones, and this is our newest one. We're going to sprinkle in new songs through the evening here, and we'll let you know in advance when one's coming, so you can just
might be able to tell.
Yeah, well, you take the critique meter down a notch or two when we get to the new ones. This one's called "Looking at You," and a little background on that. I've been married a good while, and you'll hear more about that through the night. Like I said, I write about what I experience, and I've been experiencing that, thankfully, for a long time. I don't know, a couple of weeks before Christmas, we got invited to a party, as people do at Christmas time. And I ran in, got ready, and came back out and sat down, sat. And, well, one of us just takes longer to get ready. And when she was done, she said, "How do I look?" And there's a whole lot of things that you can answer to that. And and I thought, well, my mama and daddy told me that it's always best to either tell the truth or tell something that rhymes with the truth. And but this was the truth. I just said, well, I'm not looking at your clothes when I'm looking at you. It's not your clothes I'm seeing. And so this ended up being kind of a sappy love song from an old guy, but it's fun. It's called "Looking at You."
A 1, a 2, 3.
Hold on a minute, I'm looking for lyrics. Here we go. We're going to a party with our party friends tonight. You've tried on party clothes till you found a dress you liked. Searched through your collection and selected just right shoes. Screwed up your makeup and did up your hairdo too. You asked me how you look when it's time for us to go. I tell you, you look beautiful, but I want you to know, well, I don't care what you wear to the party. When I look at you, it's not your clothes I see. I see you naked in a necklace, sexy walking down the beach. Your toenails painted turquoise, hair blowing in the breeze. I see you behind your eyes, all the sweet things you do. But I don't see what you're wearing when I'm looking at you. You caught my eye before I knew your name. Well, I like looking at you then, but I see you more today. I get a tingle and a twinkle thinking about you loving me. I love you from the inside out, oh darling, can't you see that every day's our party, till this party we depart. You want to look your best in your party dress, but I'll tell you from the heart, I don't care what you wear to the party. When I look at you, it's not your clothes I see. I see you naked in a necklace, sexy walking down the beach. Your toenails painted turquoise, hair blowing in the breeze. I see you behind your eyes, all the sweet things you do. but I don't see what you're wearing when I'm looking at you. What you're wearing when I'm looking at you. Older now than I used to be. I wonder what you see now when you look at me. I hope you see behind my old guy disguise to all the love I have for you inside. And I don't care what you wear to the party. Oh, when I look at you, it's not your clothes I see. No, I see you naked in a necklace, sexy, walking down the beach. Your toenails painted turquoise, hair blowing in the breeze. I see you behind your eyes, the sweet things you do. But I don't see what you're wearing when I'm looking at you. I don't see what you're wearing when I'm looking at you. There we go. Good job, boys. Good job.
That was interesting for a while.
How's everybody doing?
We're good. Great.
Okay, we got the ice broke. we had to put one of the new ones up early so we could just not be worried about it all night. Now we can relax and do some songs we know for a minute. Remind me that I said that. Yeah. Sometimes one of us thinks he knows them, and I don't. This one's called Anywhere Where We Are, and its origin was on a very pretty Sunday morning brunch situation, sitting out on a deck and having a nice morning with my wife. And then we decided to walk home from there, and we were just walking. It was just one of those beautiful spring bluebird days. And I was feeling real happy about life on the way home, and this just kind of popped out, and I was singing it by the time I got to the house. And I had to run. I said, Debbie, we got to walk faster. I got to remember this line. And I went in and wrote it down. So it doesn't happen that often to me, but once in a while a song just pops out, the whole thing. That's the way this one was. All right, so we're going to trilogy and slide a bass note. And I'm going to start playing. That's the way we do this one. Anywhere Where We Are. I like sunny weather on a Sunday, with you sipping something cool in the shade. And I like holding hands with you, honey baby, and talking about the memories we will make. Oh, I like looking in your eyes when you're looking into mine, and feeling that thump-thump feeling in my heart. I like anything we do that has to do with me and you. Well, I like anywhere that we are. Well, I like sitting close by the fireplace when it's cold and dark outside. And I like kissing slow till we get warmer. Oh, then making love all through the night. Oh, I like looking in your eyes when you're looking into mine, feeling that thump-thump feeling in my heart. Well, I like anything we do that has to do with me and you. Well, I like anywhere we are. So let's go anywhere and share a moment. All 'cause that's where I'll feel happy and alive. And maybe we'll stay longer if we wanna, baby. Oh, anything with you is what I like. Yeah, I like looking in your eyes when you're looking into mine, and feeling that thump feeling in my heart. I like anything we do that has to do with me and you. Well, I like anywhere where we are. Oh, I like anywhere we are. Thank you. Anywhere where we are. Can everybody hear little birds tweeting and smell flowers and?
Got one sitting on your shoulder.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to stop and tell a little story on this one. Randy told me to be sure I tell a few stories in between some of the songs, and I was telling my wife that, and she went, "Oh no, why did he say that?"
Doesn't need any more encouragement.
You don't know. So Howard and my wife, since thank God she's been to a lot of shows with me, and I sure appreciate that. But she and Howard devised a sign language thing to communicate to me when Howard's over here yawning and I'm still telling the story. He just looks out at Debbie, and Debbie looks up at me and starts going. So.
Saying it originates with Howard.
Yeah.
Somehow this got on me.
Yeah. Well, it takes at least two of them to keep me in line. I know that. Anyway, so here's the story of this song. I grew up in Amarillo. I told some of you earlier. And we lived in a house that was at the edge of town. It was all just plowed fields from the back of our house on. And that was a great backyard for a kid growing up. And we got into all kinds of world wars back there and dug holes to China. What else did we do out there? Everything that kids do. And eventually, other things started happening. And one summer, the summer of my 7th grade year, after 7th grade, one of the neighbors moved out at the end of school, and that their house didn't get purchased all summer, and it sat vacant. And of course, the local teenagers figured that out within about a day, and so they would hang out in that backyard, smoking and kissing and all the things that I was interested in but afraid of. And so me and my friends would hang out in the alleyway, peeking through the fence to see what are the big kids doing. And this young lady that lived the next block down, she used to play with us, growing up. She's one of our friends, but just a couple of years older than me. And she came walking down the alley and said, "What are y'all looking at? What are y'all looking at?" And she looked in, and then we realized after that she was more interested in it than we were. And so for a while there, we would be back there and we'd catch her at the fence by herself. She's back there. She had much clearer ideas about it than we did, being female and being a little older. Anyway, it's a long story that we're going to sing about, but that's how I ended up getting my first real kiss. And I don't remember her actual name, but for purposes of songwriting, I'm naming her Rosetta Stone because she broke the kissing code for me. All right, Rosetta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, behind the vacant house, when I was still naive, stood an oak that we all called the kissing tree. The older kids, they'd gather there like kissing kings and queens. We'd watch them through the fence, my friends and me. And right down the road lived Rosetta. She was older than me by a year or two. You know, sometimes we would see Rosetta. Oh, she'd be looking through that fence just like we do. Oh, Rosetta, help me crack that kissing code. Oh, Rosetta, Rosetta Stone. Rosetta was ambitious, smart, and she was bold. Unhappy, simply looking through the fence. She told me we'd grow old alone without doing some kissing of our own. Time for us to get our first kiss experience. So she took me by the hand and opened up the gate and led me to the shade of the kissing tree. Rosetta wrapped her arms around me, Lord. She looked into my eyes and she kissed me. Well, I was hot and cold at the same time. Oh, shivers ran up and down my spine. Rosetta pulled me in a little closer then. Oh, and that Rosetta kissed me one more time. Oh, yeah. Well, one day Rosetta got a letter inviting her to a fancy school for free. Rosetta didn't wait long to pack her bags and she was gone. She left me all alone and incomplete. So I found somebody new to teach what Rosetta taught to me. 'Cause you can't get good at kissing on your own. We were mutual beneficiaries underneath that tree where we practiced just like Rosetta Stone. Oh, Rosetta, help me crack that kissing code. Oh, Rosetta, my sweet Rosetta Stone. Rosetta, oh, she opened up the gate for me. Oh, Rosetta, when she kissed me underneath that kissing tree. Rosetta Stone, Rosetta Stone, the missing piece to the puzzle there I was working on. Rosetta Stone, Rosetta Stone, Rosetta Stone, all right. Oh, thank you very much. Well, we're sure lucky to be here.
We are very lucky to be here.
All of us, for that matter, are lucky to be here, and I'm always very thankful of the life we've got and the experiences we're getting to have, and that kind of led me to just say, you know, I'm getting lucky, and I know getting lucky can mean a few different things, but to me, it just means, gosh, look what we're doing. Here we are.
We're on TV.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm getting lucky, and so are you. Well, my wife's still my girlfriend. 40 plus years going strong. We raised our sons together. Now they're grown and we're back on our own. There's a little pink dress we kept in our closet. We thought her daughter'd wear with a bow. Now that dress looks blessed on our grandbaby girl. I'm getting lucky, getting old. I've got friends I've known since before I was grown. I've got friends I met yesterday. Oh, the old friends are trees I planted from seed. Now we give each other some shade. With fiddles and guitars at festivals and bars, we play favorite songs we know. Oh, there ain't nothing like an old friend feeling. I'm getting lucky, getting old. There's lots of ways to get lucky. Some say it's silver or gold, but the best luck is just to last long enough to see lots of stories unfold. Oh, I'm getting lucky, getting old. I sold an old guitar to my close friend. I needed money, he helped me with a smile. Then 20 years later, gave it back as a favor. Now I play that guitar every night. Old guitars, they're just like old friends. Better with age and fewer with time. And second chances, precious and rare. Don't let one pass you by. Old clocks and calendars can't tell the time. My next second chance will come along. But my wife's still my girlfriend, and I'm still getting lucky, getting old. Oh, I'm getting lucky, getting old. I'm getting lucky. We're all getting lucky. If you don't believe me, just stop and think about it a minute. Well, okay. Oh, this is a good one.
I thought they're all good.
This our friend when he's out when we're playing, he always says one of two things: play that good one. Or he'll say, play that one you know real good. So we're not going to do either one of those. We're just going to play this one. So I had the privilege of helping care for my father-in-law late in his life. And when we couldn't care for him at home anymore, we got him signed up in an assisted living facility. And it turned out to be the best thing ever because there were a lot of other people there, his generation, and they could talk about their walk through life and what they experienced. And so he had a lot of different friends up there, and I would drop by on my way home from work. It was right on my way home from work, so I would swing by there 2 or 3 times a week just to check in and say hello and see how things are going. Veterans Day was coming up. And I thought, well, I know they're going to have some kind of Veterans Day thing down there because almost all of the males there were vets. There were a couple of ladies as well. And I got down there a little early that day, and you couldn't stir the walkers with a stick because they were serving wine on Veterans Day. And so everybody was out in their walker with their half cup of wine. They wouldn't let anybody have more than a half cup at a time because they'd slosh it. So, And I got to spend the most memorable afternoon, just totally unexpected, sitting there with my father-in-law and a group of vets telling their stories. And I was just so moved by the whole thing. On the way home, I knew I was going to write a song. I just didn't know what it was going to say yet. And I kept thinking, what was the overarching message that I got out of that experience? And I think it was really that all of these folks here were especially admirable in the sense of courage, happy face in the darkest of times. There just wasn't any denying that they had mastered the art of happy living. Wish I could do it a little sooner. We all need to do it a little sooner. But I started thinking, I bet they've been like that since I'm not like that. I bet they've been like that since they were kids. And that's what got me started on the song thread here, is trying to tell the story of how could someone get like that and be unafraid and happy in what seemed to be relatively negative experiences. I mean, sometimes I need a walker too, but I'm sitting down right now, so I don't need it. No, that's all right. Thanks.
Just half a glass of wine, you'll be all right.
Yeah. So it's called The Middle of the Night, and when you're a kid, yeah, I'm getting these cymbals. Yeah.
It didn't take long.
Didn't take long. See, I told you.
And Randy's
I told
doing
you.
it too.
When you're a kid, the scariest thing is when the lights go out in the bedroom. Mom and Dad say goodnight, and those lights go out. And Lord have mercy. There's creatures in the closet, under the bed, wherever, whatever your imagination can think of. So that's where I started this song, is when those folks in that place were at that stage of life. I bet they weren't afraid then either. Middle of the Night. How's that song go? Just a small boy with a big imagination. Anything can be a puzzle in his mind. Like a monster in his closet, or alligators under his bed, or a flying pillow he rides to win the fights. He tells his mom and dad the latest story, how he flew a dangerous mission and survived, how he chased away the danger when they turned out the light and saved the day. Yeah, in the middle of the night. Time flies fast for everybody. This little boy soon became a man. He volunteered to serve his country from the air. There he knew he'd have the upper hand, and he'd ride home to tell his latest story, how they'd flown a dangerous mission and survived, how they'd gone in low to airdrop supplies and saved some lives and saved the day. Yeah, in the middle of the night. this good man lived a good life, had a loving wife and family. But a body only lasts for a lifetime, and his time will soon be history. Now he lays all day in bed and only travels in his head. Like a child, he can see anything again. And his dreams, they transport him from the boredom and the pain. Chase the darkness with the light, save his days, yeah, in the middle of his nights. And now he tells the nurse his latest story, how they flew with the new crew just last night. He showed them how to trim the engines to a perfect hum and make their fuel last the long flight. He left that day. He left that day. Middle of the night. Middle of the night.
I think you got me words.
Skipped one there, Dave.
Skip got me words.
Bob's
We're going to go
watching
pick
too,
that back up.
Okay.
Well, you know, there's a little reflection on my plastic right about there.
Yeah.
And the next thing I could read
It was the middle of it.
was that one. Well,
Got to read the fine print.
we're going to play one that we should have played just a minute ago called Got No Worries.
I was waiting to see how you were going to get that story to fit in.
It doesn't fit in. And this is where you say, meanwhile,
Yeah, something new.
in another place. So one of these music festivals, probably the same one I met Bob at, we were sitting out one morning, my wife and I, and just relaxing, having our coffee, and a lady of a certain age came waltzing by with her shirt tied up and a tattoo sticking out of her jeans and having a good tall drink of something, and I don't know when she started, but it didn't end when the sun went down because she was still going. And Deb said to me, she said, "Well, she's got no worries." And I thought, oh, here we go. Here we go. You pushed my songwriter button. We're gonna have to go sing about this one. So this one's called "Got No Worries." 2, 3, 4. She got her hard days behind her and her debt's paid down. Shoes on her feet and feet on the ground. She got bothered by the news, nobody giving her the blues. She got no worries now. Oh, she got no worries, her work's all done. Got no worries, time for having fun. Maybe tomorrow, but she got no worries now. She likes the gray in her hair, and she don't care what other ladies say about the clothes she wears. She got a new tattoo peeking out of her jeans. You gotta see it all just to see what it means, oh yeah. Oh, she got no worries, her work's all done. Got no worries, time for her for having fun. Maybe tomorrow, but she got no worries now. Uncle Howard. her second summer, her second time around. Seconds passed faster than she thought somehow. Winter may be coming, but she likes the snow. She'll sail away happy when the cold wind blows. She's at the best time of life, where it's all good, and doing what she wants is just doing what she should. If she can do it any better, she'll find out how. But she's not worried now. Oh, she got no worries, her work's all done. Got no worries, time for having fun. Maybe tomorrow, but she got no worries now. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow, but she got no worries. She got no worries now. She had been happy for several hours, at least. All right, well, that was fun. I'm glad I didn't forget that. Thank you.
I could have put an eye out.
So I grew up about my early years, so like till 6th or 7th grade, kind of splitting time between small rural town and out on a farm. They were close together. Halfway between Abilene and Oklahoma, out in the middle of all that.
Pretty general area.
Yeah. Well, that's... If you get any more specific than that, no one knows where it is. Mm-hmm. So, among other things to entertain myself out there, I chased the chickens around, and I learned it's not so easy to catch them. There's a reason that they have to use those little catcher things, at least if they're free-range chickens. You can't just walk up and grab one like they do on TV. That's not the chickens we had. They run and fly and everything else. So I thought it'd be fun to write a chicken song. It's called the Chicken Chasing Blues.
Chickens?
I don't know if I can play it or not, but we're going to try it anyway.
You're writing a song about chickens?
Yeah. Cluckers, you know.
They got goats next door. You gonna?
Hey now.
Next time. All right, y'all give me a G flat to a G, and I'll see what I can do.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's hard to catch a chicken. Ask any rooster, he'll say it's so. Well, that rooster crows at the sunrise. Sunrise ain't the reason the rooster crows. He's telling every hen about a nest in the hay, or crying about a little hen he let get away. Oh, it's hard to catch a chicken. Ask any rooster, he'll say it's so. Well, I chased those tricky chickens when I was young, a long, long time ago. I got real close a time or two before they'd flap and fly and they'd be gone. Well, I chased those chickens across the road, chased them all night till the rooster crowed, but it's hard to catch a chicken. Ask any rooster, he'll say it's so. You can chase a chicken until the cows come home, but if she don't want catching, then you're roosting all alone. If you catch a good one, don't you ever let her go. You might not catch another, and brother, don't you know it's hard to catch a chicken. Ask any rooster, he'll say it's so. This chicken. It's hard to catch a chicken, baby, easy to catch those chicken chasing blues. Yeah, you know it's hard to catch catch a chicken, baby. Easy to catch those chicken chasing blues. Just when you think everything's alright, chicken turn left, chicken take flight and leave you with the roosters, singing those chicken chasing blues. That's what they do. Yeah, it's hard to catch a chicken, baby. Easy to catch those chicken chasing blues. Oh, you know it's hard to catch a chicken, baby. Easy to catch those chicken chasing blues. Oh, and just when you think everything's alright, chicken turn left, chicken take flight and leave you with the roosters, singing those chicken chasing blues. So a lot of you know, maybe all of you know, but that last song and a lot of what we do is inspired by Western swing music. We do other things as well, which we're going to do next. But we try to keep those sprinkled in because from our side of the lights up here, it's just so fun. We just love playing it. It's fun. It's kind of like playing bluegrass, only I'm too old to move that fast. So this is this is you know a step down speed wise, and we can almost do it once in a while. So this was a Christmas present to my wife a few years ago. There's a long road behind me, don't know how I got this far. Was it my mother's prayers or my wish upon a star? I know it all got easier when you joined me for the ride. Now we've been on this same road together all this time, all this time, all this time. Oh, it's you who's been beside me and dried my tears when I cried. All this time, all this time. We've been traveling life together, you and I. All this time. Well, I remember our wedding day. You were just 19. Our parents stood beside us, we vowed love eternally. Music played so sweetly as we danced our first dance. We felt we'd live forever with all this time that we had. Now we're praying for our children while they're wishing on their star. And they think they have all this time to find out who they are. Well, I just hope they find a road like the one we ride. It doesn't seem so easy now as it did for you and I. Or maybe I've just forgotten, oh, after all this time. There's a long shadow behind us as we watch the setting sun, sipping goodnight whiskey, thinking about the things we've done. Music's playing sweeter now with each moment that goes by. We're older than we were, but younger than we'll be in time. All this time, all this time. beside me and dried my tears when I cried. All this time, we've been traveling life together, you and I, all this time. Well, I see you looking at me now, smiling with your eyes. Yes, I'm too sentimental about the days gone by, 'cause our journey isn't over. Oh, it's still our turn to find more happiness together after all. We've done it all this time. All this time, all this time, all this time, all this time. We've been traveling life together, you and I, together all this time. All this time.
You can do Carolina now.
Now we can do good. Thank you.
I can't wait for the story.
So I've enjoyed genealogy and ancestry and things like that off and on in my life. And after we were married, I was curious to learn more about my wife's family. And one branch of her family had an unusually both tragic and heroic story at the same time. A family of four left Europe. So this would be late 1800s, right after the Civil War. And they had heard about this place called Carolina, where a person could go and get some land, and, you know, with the sweat and work of a man's back and a family support, you could make a living. And they thought that sounded good. Things weren't going good at all where they were coming from. So they started selling things off and working their way towards the coast where they could get on a ship, and sold the horses there in town at the docks. That was the last thing they had to sell, was the horses and the wagon, and got on the boat with what money they had and started the ride across. Unfortunately, which wasn't uncommon in those days, there was some kind of illness on the boat, and about halfway across, people started passing, and eventually they did make it to American shores alive, but Mom and Dad passed away shortly after from something they had caught on the boat. So they made it to Carolina, but they didn't get to see it for long. The children were orphaned, obviously, and in those days it was commonplace, I guess, that you could go to the orphanage and pay a fee, and it was kind of like adopting, except you're really just indenturing them, and they work for 2 years before they can be free. And that's what happened to them. They ended up picked up that way and having to survive under the care of someone who didn't care for a couple of years. Long story short, the little girl was the only survivor that made it through everything, and somehow on her wit and character, she made it all the way to Texas by herself, got married, had a big family and lots of descendants, and I married her great-granddaughter. So that's what this song is about. It's called "Oh Carolina." dreams call from that ground. Brother did his best to walk in father's steps through town, down to the docks and climb aboard. I clutched Mama's dress as we crowded with the rest on a ship bound for the Carolina shore. 30 days of waves at sea, fighting fever and fatigue. Sickness took 10 souls along the way. Me and brother, we survived. Ma and Pa made sure alive, just to lay cold in a Carolina grave. Oh, Carolina, dreams call from that ground. Oh, Carolina, Ma and Pa, they rest there now. Traveling preacher praying on us took us west to Oklahoma. We both did his bid to stay alive. In a moonless midnight call, he sent my brother out alone. I wish I could have held him close that night. Oh, I found my brother dead the next morning. I buried him and then I ran away. I made it south to Texas where I married. Now they can bury me good down here someday. Oh, Carolina, dreams they call from that ground. Oh, Carolina, dreams they're calling to me now. Down in Texas, 10 years on, with a family of my own. I sure hope Ma and Pa can see me now, 'cause I'm happy living free, just the way they hoped they'd be when they sailed for that Carolina ground. Oh, Carolina, dreams they call from that ground. Oh, Carolina, dreams they're calling to me now. Oh, Carolina, dreams still call from that ground. I can hear them here in Texas, reminding me my life is the Carolina dream I finally found. One more. Oh, Carolina, here we are. Thank you. Carolina. We got lost and found.
Yeah. Found again.
Okay. Well, this one's called Got This Thing For You. It's one of our favorite swingy tunes to play. We're going to do this one for you and take a little break.
You look like you need one.
After that, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
That's right.
But thank you so much for being here, everyone. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Helen and Randy, for having us out. Just can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday evening. Wonderful. Thank you.
Being here.
All right. Well, I've got this thing for you. One, two, three, four. Well, I got this thing for you. The first time that we met, I knew I'd try to make you mine, mine, mine. There's a way you'll say that we'll give love a try. Is there a way that we can start tonight? Oh, would you, could you, ain't you gonna? Come on, baby, don't you wanna be the one for me and let me love you right? If you kiss me, I'd be blessed, and I'd love you more than all the rest. Oh, baby, I already do, yeah. I've got this thing for you, yes I do. Well, I got this thing for you, I can't get you out of my mind. Makes me feel crazy when you go walking by. Everywhere you go, you know I wish I was with you. Now, baby, don't you feel the way I do? Don't say you do if you don't. Don't say you will if you won't. If you ask me, baby, you know I'd say yes, yes, yes. If you ask me, I'd confess I'm obsessed with you. How about that bass? Could you, ain't you gonna? Come on, baby, don't you wanna be the one for me and let me love you right? If you kiss me, I'd be blessed, and I'd love you more than all the rest. Ooh, baby, I already do. Oh, I got this thing for you. Yes, I do. Well, I got this thing for you. Ooh, baby, now I've got this thing for. I've got this thing for. I've got this thing for you. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. We're the Dave Becker Band. We'll take a short break, and we'll see you back here in a little bit.